Hello again. I'm Tripp Rogers. He's the Hall of Famer Mike Sheck. We are the Fantasy Sultans getting set for week number 12 in the NFL. And on this week's edition of the Fantasy Sultans, we bring back a guest we've had on before. Of course, we have questioned a lot of her decisions in terms of fantasy football, including this year, my daughter, Stephanie Rogers. Welcome her to the program, live and direct from her bungalow or domicile, where she sits there and pores over and prepares for fantasy football and sits there and just does that all the time. Right?
You confusing me with somebody else?
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Who was the brilliant person who took Young Ho Kim or Young Ho Koo in the second round 3 years ago?
Me, because he's hot.
Mike, Mike, Mike. You see what I got to deal with? However, we've got to give you props, though. We've got to give Stephanie props.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden, she got off the Jaden Daniels bandwagon early, and she knew it.
I have ESP. What can I tell you? I literally told you. I was just like, I'm going to drop him. And guess what happened? He got hurt. I mean, sad thing, he got hurt. However, I was right.
But listen, Stephanie, something we say, Mike says it all the time, I say it, you got to go with your gut. And while we questioned your gut, it turned out to be the right call at that point. And you end up you've got Darnold and you've got Caleb Williams, who and again, let's give credit where credit is due. Wasn't Caleb your second choice? Or did you draft him first and then get Jaden Daniels? I thought Daniels was first.
No, Daniels was first. Caleb was second because even though I'm a Bears fan, I don't fully trust him yet.
Okay. Well, you got to be pumped up now. I mean, they're in first place. First place.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like we've been blessed by the new Pope because she's from Chicago, but it's still.
So the fact that
Spike
Lee went and got the blessing the Knicks are going to win the NBA? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, hey, it doesn't hurt. I mean, our kicker could have been blessed by them because he did. Well, okay, I'll give credit where credit is due. Caleb has done well, and our defense has done well, but still, it's not fully there.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, and I've talked to you, Roma Dunze. You're not exactly in love with some weeks. He's just still finding his oats, shall the old saying goes.
But when you think about a lot of the new players, I think you really think about CJ Stroud. When he came in his first year, he was so amazing, and then it kind of gave all these rookies this new added pressure to do. And I think that's the problem now because, I mean, I love CJ Stroud. I had him his first year and it was great. But I mean, I think now with incomers, you expect them to perform a certain way. And a lot of times that's not even the case because you're still trying to find your footing in the NFL.
Well, I think you're, Stephanie, I think you're right. Expectations. And unfortunately, and Mike, I think you'll agree with me, CJ Stroud kind of raised the bar. And, who next year, who was taken number 1 overall at quarterback? What was his name? Carolina Panthers quarterback. Please stand up.
Well, that's the thing. You just never know with quarterbacks setting the bar. Like Steph said, I think the bar was raised with Stroud, and now the wheels have sort of fallen off basically with him. And, Bryce Young, I think those two were compared. because Stroud was so good and Bryce Young was not, and now it's shifted a little bit, and Bryce is a little bit better. Stroud went the other way, and that's going to happen. That is going to happen.
Let's throw Jaden Daniels in there because Jaden Daniels was in the same draft.
Right.
Jaden Daniels, and he's done really well. Well, all right. The name of the game is the Fantasy Sultans. And Steph, before we have you lead off with our import exports, Mike, let's take a look at week number 11. Again, another fascinating week in fantasy football. You had winners, you had losers. I didn't get a Monday Night Miracle, failed by 4 points, but that's the way my season has gone the entire year. But Mike, what were your thoughts on week 11?
Well, I'm going to start it with Bryce Young because Bryce was nice in week number 11. He threw for almost 450 yards, 3 touchdowns, over 30 fantasy points. And just when everybody started questioning, is he really the Panthers quarterback for the future? Then he has that kind of a game. So, we don't know what to expect from him, but another quarterback balling out in a video game-like performance, Josh Allen in Buffalo. 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, over 50 fantasy points. Allen has to be moving back into that MVP conversation with that win over Tampa Bay. Meanwhile, San Francisco's Christian McCaffrey, he put up his 9th straight game with 100 yards or more. He and Jonathan Taylor seem to be ping-ponging back and forth for the fantasy leader. I'll tell you what, a lot of people question Christian McCaffrey with the injuries, the durability. I think us included here in this conversation.
Yes, indeed.
But he is definitely showing up. And like I said, and I've said it before, when he's healthy, he's good. And this is what we're seeing from McCaffrey. Players putting up clunkers, both round 1 picks. Jamar Chase of Cincinnati and Justin Jefferson in Minnesota, they failed to find the end zone. Chase didn't have double-digit points, but Jefferson barely got to double-digit points. They both disappointed. The Los Angeles Chargers offense disappointed. Justin Herbert, only 3 fantasy points. Yeah. Second worst performance in 90 starts. Ladd McConkey had 4 points. Kamani Vidal had 3. And Quentin Johnson was shut out in targets. Boy, I'll tell you what, I think Joe Alt's injury is really affecting that offense.
Yeah, I think that was the surprising game of the weekend, just how badly the Chargers offense did. And you've got to throw the tight end. It's not Amarian Hampton because he's out with an injury. But their tight end, who everybody was high on, he also had a bad game too. Moving forward, we've got week number 12, and the Week 12 buys are the Denver Broncos, Los Angeles Chargers, Miami Dolphins, and the Washington Commanders. Now, there are a couple teams on there that have some big players. Steph, you lead us off on import-exports.
Okay. Well, we're going to import the Bears because they're on a hot streak. I'm a young fan, and I don't think I've ever seen them get 4 wins in a row. It was probably back like in the early 2000s when I was very young. And I will export Jamar Chase just because I understand if you're frustrated, but we do not spit on people. It's not classy. It's not right.
I listen. I think one of the issues that you've got to ask yourself, and again, this Cincinnati offense has been absolutely. I shouldn't say it's been putrid, but it's been pretty bad. But I think Joe Flacco gave him a little bit of, I think has improved things a little bit. But you're absolutely right, Steph. And Jamar Chase is going to sit this week. So you're going to have to get somebody in for Jamar Chase. He's suspended for a week. So, a suspended player, you can't put on in an IR position, Mike, can you?
No, I don't think you can. No.
Yeah. So that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt fantasy
at least
owners.
For 1 week. You can't do it for 1 week now.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So, all right, Mike, import exports.
All right, I'm going to start it off with running back Emmanuel Wilson in Green Bay. Josh Jacobs suffered a knee injury in the Packers' win over the New York Giants, and his absence allowed Wilson to serve as the lead back. 26-year-old, racking up 40 yards and a touchdown on 11 carries for the team. If Jacobs misses extended time, Wilson would serve as the workhorse back for the Packers. Third string Chris Brooks has just 3 total carries, while 2024 third-round pick Marshawn Lloyd hasn't played in 2025 because of an ankle injury. That makes Wilson the obvious choice to roster, so I'd import him. Let's go to the wide receivers. Michael Wilson in Arizona. Now, Wilson had his best game this week, 31% target share, 15 receptions, and 185 yards. Marvin Harrison had an appendectomy and was ruled out last week. Based on the reports, he could miss more time with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. I think this means something here. I wouldn't say this is a long-term solution, but until Harrison returns, Wilson could be a solid wide receiver number 3. And Steph, I know you're going to like me about this import. I am going to talk about Luther Burden in Chicago, wide receiver. 3 catches, 27 yards against Minnesota. May not sound like he's worth a gamble as an import, but Burden played more snaps than Olamide Zaccheaus for the first time all year. I would say he's made some splash plays on limited opportunities, and he's currently leading the team in yards per route run. DJ Moore has been a disappointment so far, and it's possible that Burden could eventually become Caleb Williams' number 2 pass catcher behind Rome Odunze in the next few weeks. Let's go to the exports, and I have 2 bigger name receivers on this list. First, wide receiver Garrett Wilson of the New York Jets. He's on IR with a knee injury. He may return at the start of the fantasy playoffs, but we're talking about week 15 here, folks. Is it really going to matter at that point? Right now, the Jets are 2-8, and they certainly aren't going to be rushing him back. Even if he does return, Tyrod Taylor throwing him the ball does not sound like an appetizing solution for me. I think there's better options out there, so I would export him. Another wide receiver I'm ready to set free, and that is Khalil Shakir from Buffalo. Fantasy owners have to be frustrated with him. 454 yards on the season, 3 touchdowns, and he's averaging 45 yards a game. Now, if you sprinkle in the touchdowns, his numbers are a bit better, but he's only found the end zone 3 times over the season. Last week, without Keenan Coleman and Dalton Kincaid on the field, Shakir had 1 catch. Josh Allen had 6 touchdowns last week. 3 passing, 3 rushing. You would have thought that he would have benefited more from that situation, and he just did not. So I'm going to export him.
Okay. I'm going to go export Michael Penix Jr., quarterback of the Falcons. Knee injury, done for the year. Get him off your roster. He's not going to play. And again, if you're looking for a streaming quarterback, Kirk Cousins, no thank you. Import this week. Houston Texans wide receiver Jaden Higgins. Houston's offense sluggish start week 11, but Higgins retained his role as the number 2 wide receiver for the Texans. 7 targets, 55 yards in the win over Tennessee. He is playing a lot as the number 2 wide receiver. He's gotten 7 targets in back-to-back games. He has outsnapped Christian Kirk and Jaden Noel in both games also. Now, the Texans will face a challenging schedule down the road, the 11th toughest for wide receivers. This week they play the Buffalo Bills. The Bills have done better on pass protection. Week 13, a positive spot for Higgins and the Colts as they Higgins and the Texans as they take on the Colts. So he would be somebody you could probably pick up, and he will probably be available in your league. Speaking of the Buffalo Bills, I am going to grab wide receiver Tyrell Shavers. In fact, I've already grabbed him. He started last Sunday with 8 career catches, but guess what? He had half that number with 90 yards and a touchdown. And you were talking about Khalil Shakir. That's one of the reasons why Khalil Shakir is not doing well. Also, Keon Coleman was inactive last week with the coach's decision. Let's see if Coleman is back in the lineup for the game this week. But Tyrell Shavers, and they play Thursday night, by the way, but Tyrell Shavers is just somebody to pick up. Again, it looks like his role could expand. And remember, he's got a Week 14 home date against the Bengals. Talk about bounce backs here. Chris Rodriguez. Welcome back to the Fantasy Sultans Import Exports. Yes, indeed. He's coming back. Season high with carries and carry share and yards in Sunday's loss to Miami. Now, Washington off this week. Don't sleep on this guy. He's not a candidate to help you this week, but get ready for a long-term stash. And he's got some negative matchups, but he also could help you with plus matchups against the Giants week 15 and the Cowboys week 17. Overall, Washington's offense projects as below average going forward. Again, part of that is because of the quarterback situation, but Chris Rodriguez is the guy to get, and Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is goodbye. We're going to say goodbye to Bill. Top streaming defense, if you're looking for one, how about the Las Vegas Raiders against the Cleveland Browns? I will just say one thing. Shedeur Sanders. Yes, baby. Oh, it's going to be a feeding frenzy Sunday. Oh, man. I can't wait to just see Shedeur Sanders look stupid. All right, Stephanie, one more segment for the show. It's our buy, sell, hold. I will give you 3 players. You tell me if you want to buy, if you want to sell, if you want to hold, or which 3 you want to do in that order. You have 3 choices. The 3 choices for this week, and this is from our friends at Draft Sharks: Bucky Irving, Deebo Samuel, and Lamar Jackson. Buy, sell, or hold. Steph, you're up. I did you see the eyes widen, Mike? Her eyes
yes, I
widened
did.
with that one when I told her that. Her eyes just widened. You thought you'd get off easy on this show.
No, I didn't. I had no expectations. With Lamar being back, I will hold him.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, it's buy, sell, hold.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Hold Lamar. I would buy
Deebo and Bucky.
Yeah, I would buy Bucky and I would sell Deebo.
All right, Mikey, what about you?
Well, I will hold Lamar too. I think, like Steph said, not a good start for Lamar for the Ravens, but I think they're turning a corner. So I would hold him. Bucky, I would sell. I mean, I'm high on Sean Tucker. I really like the performance that he had. Tucker, over 100 yards last week. I had him as an import. I'm buying him. And Samuel, that Washington offense is just not good without Jaden Daniels, so I'm selling him.
Okay, so what the guys at Draft Sharks said. Bucky Irving buy, and you mentioned Sean Tucker's big game. And the thing of it is last year, Bucky put up 32.7 points and then followed it up with 4.3, 2.0, and 2.2. So if Bucky is going to be the back that they are going to trust in Tampa Bay, that's not exactly the profile you want for a candidate at the trade deadline. Again, Bucky Irving would be a buy person. I mean, again, you may get something out of it. We'll see how the backfield develops with Sean Tucker. Sell Deebo Samuel, and listen, Deebo Samuel should not be considered a fantasy start, even though he put up his best game last week. But and I think the Washington offense is a mess. And again, part of it is Jaden Daniels is out. And hold on, Lamar Jackson. Listen, Lamar is still a dual threat quarterback. His dip is mostly matchup and road driven. His upcoming schedule is exactly what you want for a rebound. Remember, they got the Bengals on Thanksgiving night. You're getting another top 5 quarterback plus an upgrade elsewhere. I think you just ride it out and you hold Lamar Jackson. Stephanie, we appreciate you joining us tonight on the Fantasy Sultans. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
I hope so. I'm your child.
Well, I guess I should enjoy, I should enjoy it. Yeah, it's great. So, what's your record so far this year, Steph? I didn't look.
Fantasy record or?
Yes, fantasy record. No, we're not talking about your dating record. We don't want to go into that.
No, I thought you were asking me about the Bears because they're 7-3.
No, I know what the Bears record is. I know what the Bears record is.
I believe I know I'm on like a 4-game losing streak. Wait, I can get it because it's not that great.
I think in the song. Well, Mike, unfortunately, Mike is the cellar dweller among us, and I'm not doing much better.
Valid. I have a better record than Mikey. Sorry. I'm 4-7. Actually, that's what
I thought you were. I thought you were 4-7. I think I'm 5-6. I think. So anyhow, yeah. So Steph, I just wanted to check that on the old fantasy there, how you were doing. Stephanie also is the person responsible for the music on WTRSradio.com. So if you like the music you hear, you credit her. If you don't like it, you blame her.
No one will blame me.
No, you blame me. You blame me because it's my radio station.
You give it to me.
I give it to you. I tell you what you got to do. Mike, any last minute words of wisdom? Because Stephanie's not going to give us any wisdom, I don't think, other than the Bears. The Bears.
The Bears.
It's a good call. That, and then the Seahawks play the Titans. So I actually put Sam Darnold in instead of Caleb.
There you go. There you go. Hey. She's playing the matchups, Mike. She learned from somebody. Must be me. I got to take credit.
No.
I don't take credit for that second round kicker pick, but
he's your kicker now.
Yeah, I'm aware of that fact. Well, again, you want to talk about the many mistakes of Brian Dable. I mean, the fact they did not get rid of Graham Cano last year, is one of them. It just multiplied itself this year. But Mike, any last minute words of wisdom?
Just watch the injuries. I think people seem to get caught with their pants down with late injuries and scratches. That sort of happens like late on a Sunday right before the 1:00 games. You get the inactives. Just watch it because it could get yourself in trouble, or you could benefit from it because you go to the waiver wire. Somebody, a backup comes in and starts, and you can go to the waiver wire and benefit from that situation. So I would just be mindful of all the news you hear during the week, plus leading up to the games.
We are here every week to give you the words of wisdom you need to get you through. If you listen, unlike Stephanie, who doesn't listen, and she admits it, she does not listen to her father when her father tells her what to do. She does not listen. She's been a petulant child. Oh, I'm only kidding. No, she's a good kid. She's been a good kid. And she's shaking her head no. No, she's been a good kid. She's a good kid. But anyhow, we are here to help you. Don't forget, next week, Thanksgiving, we will have the Sultans. We'll drop the show on Wednesday, so you'll be able to get your we'll be able to cover the weekend because there are 3 games on Thanksgiving. There's a game on Black Friday, so you're going to have 4 games down before you wake up from your turkey coma, and that's going to be important to remember because you're going to have to get your lineup set and you're going to have to make your waiver moves. So we'll have that for you next week. It'll be an early deadline. We'll drop it on Wednesday. And on that note, we're going to help you get to where you're going. I mean, the playoffs is where you want to be, and the playoffs are just around the corner. The Fantasy Sultans are here to help you. He's the Hall of Famer Mike Scheck. I'm Tripp Rogers. We are the Fantasy Sultans.
And you are not.